Okay, I'm going to start first just by a little transition here. I just want to talk about one of my highlights this year. And a couple of weeks ago, these students that you see before you came to the board meeting one night. And they came to talk about sustainability and what's happening at St. George's and what impacts it had on them. And it was interesting because I put this on the agenda and was all excited about it. And then I had a couple board members say to me afterwards, you know, I wasn't kind of wondering, you know, why we have got such a long agenda? Why are we having the students come to present at the end here? It's going to be such a long night. Wasn't quite sure how it would go. But at the end, every single board member said that was absolutely the best thing that we listened to throughout the year. It was amazing. Thank you so much for having our students come to speak. So we thought that it would be great at that time for you all as well to hear about what's happening behind the scenes with sustainability. We know this is an initiative, our People, Planet, Prosperity, that we've been looking at as a staff and faculty over the last 3 or 4 years. And we wanted you to know what's happening with our students, and we think that's important as well. So I'm now going to turn it over to Danielle.
Thank you. Good morning. What a warm welcome for all of you, and I'm very excited to be here with these wonderful students who, yes, came back on June 28th to our school. That's So every year since we've made sustainability really the center of our strategic plan, and it has been a very actively worked on perspective for our school, Sharon has asked me, can you say kind of like what's happening? Because all of you are a part of it, but you don't always have the joy of having the full perspective of what's happening. So every year it's a challenge, and every year I don't want to just stand up here and repeat the same thing, you know, I kind of hit on all the different parts. So I tried to think of different ways, and I thought this year, you don't need me to give a report anymore. You really just need to see and to hear what is happening with our students. And so that's why all these wonderful people are here to talk to you. So I just want to, oops, what do I do? Let's see. I just want to review, hang on. I just want to review together, just Lee, oops, we need you. I just want to review and create a context for what the students are going to be sharing with you. And so, as you know, the People, Planet, Prosperity has been at the center of our strategic plan, and it really is foundational to, thank you, it really is foundational to the idea that our school is creating learning opportunities so all of our students, not just these 8 students, but all of our students have a chance to contribute to a better world and have a meaning to their lives and a purpose to their lives. So last June, I was really moved when Sharon and I were leading an activity, and we had asked you to think about the perspective lens from what you were highlighting as your main and most meaningful happening or initiative in the school. And when you talked about prosperity, all of you collectively, I could see that we had this global understanding, all of us, that prosperity was about love and care for life. And it was a really profound moment for me, feeling that all the people that I work with and the 30 many years that I've spent here were coming to this. We're coming to a moment where our school really, really was there to preserve life and the future for our wonderful students. So it's in our history, it's in our roots, it's in our mission. We have a 90th anniversary coming up when we can celebrate all of that. And so today is about looking at how together we weave and we create students' learning experience that are very unique. Their message is a celebration of your work, your collective work together. It's a message of gratitude, and it's an inspiration for you in the future for us, all of us, to continue to weave these kinds of wonderful experiences so everyone can thrive. So for 5 years, we've been very actively focused on learning and working on that. And as you know, and I'm going to skip over this very quickly just as a reminder. Sustainability is at the core of our strategic plan. We have an incredible vision that was written 7 years ago, and it says that our school is a microcosm of the possible, and it truly is at this point. We are real participants in a world that thrives. Sustainability also is focused on a process of inquiry and reflective analysis. We don't know how to do this. We are facing new problems, but we are solving them together. And so inquiry is necessary, a lot of thinking, a lot of innovation as we take action. And our school also thrives as a living example of what can happen for a school and how we can become a sustainable environment and place to learn. And we are, excuse me, actively sharing our resources, our experience. This year we had 4 main events. We were asked to be part of the CIS Green School Initiative. So the CIS is thinking about having some of its criteria for recognition for the school to be about sustainability. We've been asked to participate in designing that. 6 of our students went to a conference at St. Margaret's School and were welcome. It was a STEM conference and they shared their leadership and sustainability experience. We have a Green Team newsletter, which you'll hear a little bit more about, and most of you have seen, that is out there in the world sharing our message of sustainability. And we had a team from Montreal School. 4 people came to learn about what does it look like in a school that the strat plan has a foundational piece that is sustainability, because that's what they want to design for their school. So we are exporting our expertise. But really right now, what I want to share with you, or what these students want to share with you, is what is the impact of our collective effort focus on embracing St. George's sustainability vision to build a thriving future with and for our students. And I emphasize the with and for because this is a situation where it isn't about saying, oh, the next generation will fix this. This is about all of us working with the students to fix what is a collective problem on the earth. And I think that we should really listen to them to focus on what solutions are happening right now. So I asked them to think about a meaningful learning experience at school this year to focus their thinking on sustainability, leadership, deeper learning, and resiliency. And so welcome to all of you, and I will now give them, je vais leur donner la parole and give them the time to share with you their reflection on their meaningful learning experience. Would you guys rather hold this microphone or come to the podium? Podium? All right, but first, please introduce yourselves. You can just hop out. That's going to be sure.
Hello, my name is Catherine, and I'm going into grade 9 next year.
Hi, I'm Liam, and I'm going into grade 7.
Hi, I'm Courtney, and I'm just finished my 10th grade year.
Hi, Erika, I'm going to grade 11 next year.
I'm Gal, I just graduated from elementary.
I'm Shirley, I just finished grade 9.
I'm Ellen, I'm going to CJEP next year.
Hi, I'm Julieta, I just finished grade 9. I'm going into grade 10. When I was in elementary school, I was interested in sustainability and helping the planet, but I didn't really have a voice to do much when I did any project or like anything to do with this. So when I came to St. George's and found out that there was a green team, I got really excited, even though I didn't know what it was. I was like, I'm going to join it. So when I was working with Danielle and everybody else who was in the green team, I wanted to deepen my knowledge about anything that I was really interested in to help the earth and take action because, as you see from my notes, I get mad if something happens and I like to do something about it. So this green team has helped me become more motivated to solve problems, and the school also. For example, a few years back we did this contest that had to help with sorting trash at our school because we had a little bit of an issue with that. So once I realized that students actually took the knowledge in, were interested and like passionate, and were not just like, oh, this is just for school, whatever, we're actually going to do something about it, I felt really motivated about that. And even if some people weren't that interested about it, I was still like ready to do something about that. So the school has really motivated me to do stuff like this. And for future, I feel like once people leave St. George's, I don't want them just to be like, oh, this is part of a school thing. This is just like a now thing. I want them to be taking in what we've taught them, also to just take what we taught them, to take it out of St. George's once you leave and do something about it, hopefully in the future, and just to keep it with you throughout their lives, not just to do it as a one thing. It's throughout the rest of your life. So yeah, the green teams really helped me with that, and finally gave me a voice, for example, like this. So I'm really happy about that. Thank you.
Hi. So one of the most meaningful experiences for me this year was my letter to the editor for the So basically, a while ago there was an article in the Globe and Mail by Margaret Wente titled "Don't Panic Over Mass Extinction," and it was basically saying, you know, yes, there was the UN report about biodiversity loss, 1 million species are endangered, and she was like, no, it's not such a big deal, you know, and kind of being negative about the whole youth climate movement and Greta Thunberg and saying how that's all just depressing kids and we should just be like, you know, give them some positive news instead of inspiring them to take action. And that article really upset me because it's exactly the opposite of how I feel. And so instead of just staying mad about it, I decided to channel that into writing a letter to the editor, and then they took it. And that was really a meaningful experience for me because it's quite amazing to be, you know, a 14-year-old published in the biggest newspaper in Canada. I've always, like, throughout since grade 2 to the end of grade 9 throughout school, I've always been taught, like, to take leadership and that even one person can have a big difference. And it's not that I didn't believe that, but I never had a concrete example of that with myself until now. And that was really meaningful to me because I really realized at that moment that I do have a voice and that I can take what's important to me and share it with the world and have an impact. And this experience has also inspired me to, now I'm working on another article. And hopefully someone will take it. So it's inspired me to do everything I can to support the causes I believe in. The school made this possible through 3 key elements. The first one is teaching me how to be a leader, and throughout my whole journey here, I've learned many valuable leadership skills and had many opportunities to practice them, and it's really integrated into the whole curriculum, and I've learned from that how to be a leader and not to be afraid to try something new and adventurous and do that. And the second element is just learning how to write well. So thank you to all my teachers for that. And beyond the actual writing, also learning how to think critically and how to formulate my opinion, which is, I think, even more important. And I think the school has really taught me how to do that really well. The last element is sustainability at school, which I've seen throughout the years, every year it's been incorporated more and more, and now it's the core of the strategic plan, and this has really impacted me, and now sustainability is really a personal priority for me, and I brought that home, and I brought that to almost everything I do. An example of this is the green team. So in grade 5, I joined the green team because some of my friends were in it. And I didn't really know what sustainability was. And then since I joined, I've learned a lot about it, and I've done many projects to try and make our school a better place. And that's what made me so passionate about this and able to take on this challenge. All these three elements combined have helped me achieve writing a letter to the editor, and they've given me the tools to go beyond just school projects and take that into my life and try to have a bigger impact. My vision for the future is that we integrate sustainability into everything, even more than we're doing today, to have it in every choice that the school takes and every choice that the individuals that make up the school take, and even more integrated in curriculum and everything, to make sustainability a lens that we just see everything through. Thank you.
Hi to elementary school people. I don't know you. Nice to meet you. So, also, can you imagine Shirley not caring about the environment in like grade 4? So, this year I did something really cool. I created something from nothing. I dealt with all the ups and downs and complications and managing a team. I even learned a fair bit about web design. And throughout this process, St. George's made me feel supported but given freedom. Once I was given the tools, resources, and confidence, I could do my own thing. And I just wanted to thank everyone really deeply for that, because that's awesome. And the thing I created is a Green Team newsletter. And the Green Team newsletter is something I created to educate about sustainability and offer things people can do to save our planet while being open, accessible, diverse, and encouraging. So, while writing the Green Team newsletter, words and concepts from multinationals to GMOs, I understand and can talk about without me having to do hours of research, just trying to grasp it because it was in our curriculum, I was taught it, I had a basis. And I wouldn't have all these research skills without all the projects we've done. And I love researching for the Green Team newsletter. Time flies. I learn so much. From spending hours like searching in Portuguese so I can get one quote, and then way too much about our recycling systems. Like, this concept is so big and you can go so deep, and I am so motivated. The more I learn, the more I care, the more I'm inspired. I made it, and I believe in my cause, and I have a voice. And I'm allowing everyone to make an impact, and in turn, I'm making an impact. It allows me to connect with my planet, but also with the people on our planet. Okay. Now, for our school, we need to continue and do more of connecting our subjects to global issues. It's vital to explore those connections and not just surface level facts. It's, as I see it, a disservice not to. It's a disservice to you, it's a disservice to your students, and it's a disservice to our planet. We need to make sustainability more everyone. We need everyone to understand what the word sustainability means and how it applies to them. We can't have one person just kind of avoiding it because, no, excuses. What are you talking about? That should be unavoidable in your classrooms. And I'm not saying screaming at them constantly. I'm saying you guys need to have an understanding so that we can have an understanding, and everyone has an understanding. And finally, we need to continue to support creativity, conversation, leadership, chasing your passion, deeper learning, respect, empathy, nuanced perspective, speaking up, and finding solutions. Please continue to encourage and allow your students to change the world. Thank you.
Hello. So first off, I would like to express how amazing it was to work with the Green Team, or to be part of the Green Team, you know, with all these amazing people. Like, it truly has been fantastic. Second, I also worked on the Green Team newsletter, so yes, I am part of that team that Julieta talked about. And I believe that that experience has been incredibly valuable for me. I have learned a lot from it. A few of the big things that it has helped me with are, for one, it has really helped me understand the issues with the environment and with the planet and everything like that, and a bunch of things that Julieta did a bunch of research on, that I did some research on. And so I think that that is very important. You know, knowing about something is important in order to understand it. And such, I think that the experience that I have gotten from the newsletter is like very good for learning, and in general, learning experiences where you are like teaching, kind of being, I guess, hands-on, and this idea of learning by doing is very important for me. Also, the newsletter has helped me kind of
So you lead to the recipe.
So another thing that the newsletter has helped me with is it has helped my writing, you know, being able to write things for the newsletter, and in general, editing the newsletter, in which I have learned that I am kind of a neat freak when it comes to writing. I don't like using tildes as bullet points. So that has been a valuable learning experience as well, and I don't think that I really could have done that without, obviously, learning about English in school. So I think in a similar way to what Shirley said, that's important.
Yes.
I also participated in urban agriculture, the urban agriculture pod, which is basically an activity where you plant plants, and then, or you plant kind of crops, and then you wait for, and then you like nurture them and help them grow, and then when they are ready to eat, we like donate them so that people who really need food can like eat them. I think that is a very useful experience because it has taught me the value of hands-on work when it comes to learning about sustainability and helping people. Because there is a certain, first of all, there is a satisfaction when you talk about hands-on work, and there is also this element where it's also valuable because it kind of teaches you the importance of kind of doing direct work that you can really see the impacts of it. So that's kind of and so that's why I feel that urban agriculture has been this great thing that I've done. And I think that idea of learning by doing, and and hands-on work to help people and learn, and sort of this approach to learning about the environment and helping our planet being a thing that that everyone here participates in kind of directly would be a very good thing to kind of take along with us as we go into the future. And kind of as my last point, I would like to thank everyone here, all of you amazing people, all of these amazing people, and of course, this amazing person, for making everything that I have done and everything that these people have done possible. So, thank you very much.
So the activity that I primarily focused on this year that hooked my attention was plogging, and for those who don't know, the simple explanation of that is you just pick up trash while jogging, or you can go whatever pace you feel like, walking, jogging, high intensity running. You can challenge yourself by doing additional exercises if you need, but for me that's a little too much because I like to put a lot of time into that, and it's already gets my back sore. And you can also do it with friends as well, which is great. So it has a bunch of those components that teaches you tools and skills that are lifelong. Let's see. So this morning on my way here, So this morning on my way here, I just picked up 4 pieces of trash, but there's a lot more I could have done. But instead of telling myself that you only did 4 and you can do better next time, I told myself that it's 4 less pieces of litter on the ground on the planet, and regardless of the magnitude, change is change nonetheless. Thank you. Like these concepts and ideologies, like go back to the school, like what the core values of the school are, and what is taught in the classroom. And for that, I have to thank everyone, like teachers, staff, faculty, parents, the green team, like everyone. Don't need to specify because everyone knows who they are and what role they play in preparing students for the real world. And like you support us, you encourage us, you expand our knowledge and perspectives, and prepare us for to become flexible in an ever-changing world. You also teach us to be being comfortable with being uncomfortable, develop our individuality, creativity, etc. The list goes on. From plugging and what we learn in the classroom, we learn to be good leaders. And yeah, one thing I'd like to continue on working with the school is to keep sustainability and zero waste and concepts of this that are part of this family present in everyone's lives, regardless of what they choose to do with their life. On top of that, I'd like to develop sustainable systems that are constantly in the forefront of the school's system. Thank you.
So my experience was the waste audit. So this year, me and my partner Rowan we worked on a project to work towards zero waste. So if you don't know what that means, it's all the trash we generate would be recyclable or compostable, and none of it goes to the landfills where it harms our planet. So we did a waste audit, which means we collected all the garbage we produced during one day, and then we sorted it out to see how many contaminants there were and what went where, and to see how well the students sorted. So I really like that because I like seeing how my work is actually important and that it's actually something that needs to be worked on. So for example, the waste audit, without the waste audit, we might have worked on something that didn't need any work, that it was already good enough, and there were other things that were a bit of a problem. So for example, the garbage was full of recyclables and compostables. So it probably meant that the students needed a bit of help sorting. So we made posters over the garbage bins, and you probably saw them. So I also want to thank a couple of people that have helped us to move towards our goals. So first of all, Len for our lunch is completely zero waste and you encourage the students and you explain to us what goes where, and also to build things in grounds for they're actually going to put things together. So probably next year, if I continue working on this project, they're the ones who will actually be able to buy the supplies and everything and put it together. And lastly, to Cindy for teaching me how to use the computer and technology and make a really nice presentation. And on Earth Day, the Green Team did a presentation to the whole school to explain what we were working on. And me and my partner Rowan explained about the zero waste and what goes where and about the waste audit. So while doing the waste audit, I used a lot of critical thinking because I had to like transfer information into basically an action plan to know like what I'm actually going to do with what I know. And for example, as I said before, there were a lot of contaminants, so when we went to work on it, we also saw that there were like specific things that were a lot of garbage, and we could work on that. In the future, I would like to learn in an environment where all the classes are like based around sustainability, and basically that's what is in our strategic plan. And all the classes would be like mindful of it, or when we're planning the activity, we could think like how is this going to impact the environment? Are we going to produce a lot of waste? And I would like to learn from nature and to be like nature, and also because nature is zero waste.
Hello everyone. So the project I've chosen to talk about is my kindness project. So what it was is my friend and I, Robert, held the door for the whole school after morning recess and decided to count how many people said thank you, and we got around 4 people. So we thought that was pretty bad. At St. George's we're capable of more, so we decided to try to get students to appreciate small acts of kindness throughout the day. So what we did was we went to the kindergarten students and led a workshop about kindness. So this was meaningful for me because it helped flourish a community with kindness and respect. Because in my mind, a perfect community starts with people being happy, and no one can be happy if people aren't kind to one another. So I remember vividly the day when we first held the door for the school. After, we went directly to Claire and Mr. Aiden and told them about what had happened, and we asked them what they thought we should do to make change. And they wouldn't tell us what we should do, they would ask what we think we should do. And that really showed that the teachers are trusting in their students to make change. Also, we wouldn't have been able to think about this if the school hadn't taught us about creative thinking and problem solving, because without those skills we wouldn't have been able to find a solution to this problem. So this is really important to me, and I think that the school should continue to teach kindness, respect, leadership, character traits, and values from a young age, and more classes should be built around these subjects. Thank you.
But it's always difficult to follow them. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Courtney. I've just finished my grade 10 year. And throughout my 15 years of life, I've lived all over North America, and if I've counted correctly, St. George's is my 6th or 7th school. And I know you're thinking, why are you telling me all this? But it is relevant, I promise. So up until my grade 9 year, when I switched into St. George's, I had never done an extracurricular activity within the school. This community I was told I had didn't exist beyond the brochure that was given to me when I walked in. And when I came into St. George's, I immediately was confronted with this big sense of like family, that everyone felt at home here and everyone felt comfortable. And I joined so many ECAs, and when I think back on it, I was a super shy person. Getting up in front of all of you guys never would have happened. I would have been asked and been like, nope, and walked out the door. It would not have happened, I promise. And those of you who have taught me this year, I'm a very chatty person now. And none of that would have happened without the development of social skills, which I had very little coming in. And it's not, like I was told to thank a few people, but it's not just one person. I can't just thank one person, because it's everyone. It's every single person who's part of the community. Whether I've met you, whether I've spoken to you, it doesn't matter. You're all a part of it, and it's really helped me to come out of my shell. So I had the wonderful experience of going on a trip to Victoria along with 5 other girls and Miss Klein and Danielle. We went to St. Margaret's School for their STEM Leadership Conference, and we gave a presentation on sustainable eating and how they can implement sustainability in their school. We got to meet with the girls who board at the school, and we got to really find a modern solution for their modern problems, because it's hard when you live in a giant house with everyone to implement these sustainable acts, and we did our best that we could to help them figure out how they can do this. So this experience in particular really resonated with me because I learned so many things about myself. I had never really looked back and thought how much I've changed. I've never thought, oh yeah, like I have developed over the past 2 years. I never even thought to think about it, you know? And on our last hike, for the last 15 minutes, we walked alone. We were told to connect with whatever we could connect with. And everybody connected with something different. Some people connected with the nature, some people connected with this, some people connected with themselves. I connected with myself. I really got to know the fact that I changed so much, you know, like I would never have been able to give a conference and like tell people about what I believe in, because I always believed in this stuff but never had the voice to say anything about it. And it was really, really emotional for me to like find out that I changed that much, because looking back, I'm a much better person now than I was walking into this school. And I think every single person who has walked into the school leaves with something more than they came in with. And I think that's really important. So I was also asked what I would think for my learning path and like what I would like for the future in my education. Now I only have 1 year left, but I do want to leave something for people to remember. And I would like to bring in something called biomimicry. Now biomimicry is essentially mimicking nature systems in order to create a more